Okay. As you know, I've always been fascinated with GPS for quite some time. I've talked about this in several courses about GPS functionalities that are getting more interesting, especially when we have SPS and PPS. What sort of comment would you have if somebody said, well, maybe we should have GPS identifiers in terms of where people can specifically find us, because a lot of people are using now Google Maps and Map Maker and things like that in terms of optimization.
Yeah, so geolocation is a hot topic in the world of local SEO or local search. You know, there's services that will geolocate based on, you know, your phone's location, such as Foursquare, where you can check into a business, for example. Facebook has its own, you know, Facebook check-in that you can do as well, and you can share where you are with your friends. It is quite important to tag your latitude and longitude, and also to mark up your name, address, and phone number in specific formats that the search engines as well as these other geolocation services understand. And that way you can get included into a Garmin or a Navtech or a TomTom GPS just by making sure that you're sort of having consistent data throughout that local search ecosystem.
This week past, I was at a meeting at Google hosted downtown at the U of T St. George campus. Unfortunately, a very small number of people attended because they didn't receive the opportunity, but they were talking about how Google Map Maker invites people to make commentary and identify things within Google Map Making structure. So if you do have a number of businesses, you're free to identify them. The type of features that you have, the location, little routes, and so on. So more companies can do that, can put themselves into the structure which ends up on Google Earth and other structures like that, which can help you in a very competitive environment.
Oh, you bet, and it works both ways, both from the business to the consumer, as well as being a consumer-friendly application. The way I would use Google Map Maker, for example, for some of the students who are watching is, you know, let's say you're going up to hiking or you know going camping, for example, and you want to plan your route along the way. Map Maker is a good way of being able to do that and have multiple destinations along the way, and then add commentary to it. So, for example, if you checked into that local restaurant in the middle of nowhere and you had, you know, a cheesesteak that was amazing, you can actually add that commentary and make it onto that business's profile.
Okay, there's a lot of things to keep track of here, and sometimes it serves our purposes to know what not to waste time working on. Just like meta description tags and meta content tags aren't as powerful in 2012 as they were in 2009, even less so back in 2005 when people used to just stuff their pages with all kinds of words. So Dev, what are some of the things in 2012 that aren't quite so important that we don't need to worry about, and other things that we should focus on?
I think the number one thing that's different in 2012 than in 2009, 6, or 2003 even is there's a big shift between trying to build websites that are good for search engines versus building a good user experience, and now I think the two things are really one and the same. So if you build a good user experience on a search engine friendly website, chances are you're going to win. The other thing that I'm seeing a lot of is because the long tail is expanding, there's more people searching terms today that weren't even searched last month, for example. It places the onus on marketers to generate really good, unique, compelling content on their site. So it's more important in 2012 to have a blog and be consistent at your activities in blogging, for example, than ever before. And it's not just writing text-based content. You know, do webinars, do presentations, for example. You know, syndicate content out to your Facebook fan page.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube channel will be another fantastic opportunity. So leverage all of your digital assets and make sure they're amplified, they have good reach on the web, in order to not only drive link backs, but also to engage, you know, community specific to those social channels.
Let's talk about YouTube in terms of social media. That's one that I'm used with my students a lot. What are some of the things that a person can do in YouTube that relates to optimizing a page and optimizing the business? Because you said it's not just about the page, but it's the user experience. What are some of the things that you find are successful for people that host a YouTube channel to try to get the customers to integrate and be enthusiastic and ambassadors of the product?
Yeah, well, I think that there's a lot of ways, you know, there's a two-part approach, I would say. The first is towards getting that video visibility on YouTube or in Google Universal Search, and the second part is getting people to take certain, you know, actions once they've watched the video. The first part, it actually, you know, borrows some concepts from on-page SEO. So make sure you have the keywords and the title tag.
Yeah, a lot of people ignore them in the default settings. They don't put the words in.
Yeah, or you know, make sure you have a compelling description with keywords in that, and a link back to your site. Choose the right category. If you submit to the wrong category, the chances that you'll go viral are you know much lower. respond to other videos if your video is an actual response rather than just posting it up as an individual video.
Yeah.
YouTube's done a couple of very nifty things in terms of being able to have better call to action. So now you can actually have annotations that you would put on your video with links at certain points in that while that video is playing.
Yeah.
When a video ends, for example, you can have a dynamic background that will link to other videos, so that when a user discovers one video, then you can shape their experience in discovering a whole series of videos that you might have.
So you might have one video about a particular product in your lineup and show another one that's made of leather and another one made of plastic and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.